Hello, welcome to this game at Roller Derby World Cup. It's the 54th game.
We are on the 54th game of the Roller Derby World Cup, so welcome to the 2025 Roller Derby World Cup, hosted by the fearless Bruisers in Innsbruck, Austria. This is game 54. I can't even read my own writing. It is game 54 on day 3, and we have got Sweden skating in yellow versus Switzerland skating in black, and we are here on the S1 track.
Ja, und in der Schweiz wird ja auch Deutsch gesprochen, deshalb auch Hallo an die Menschen, die jetzt vielleicht mit deutscher Muttersprache zuhören. Ich freue mich sehr, dass ich auch endlich mal in Deutsch announcen kann. Wir haben hier Schweden in Gelb und Schweiz in Schwarz. Und gleich geht's los. Wir hören gleich noch Anthems. Da werden wir auch nichts sagen, weil das ist immer eine ganz schöne Stimmung hier. Wir hoffen, ihr kriegt ein bisschen was von der Atmosphäre hier mit. Ist auf jeden Fall eine sehr tolle Atmosphäre hier, eine richtig krasse Crowd. The crowd is really going crazy in here.
Oh, it has been electric all morning so far. We have just had Netherlands and France finish the first game on here this morning. And we have had West Indies versus USA next door. So it is fire this morning already.
Yes, and yesterday Sweden, they had such an interesting game. Gestern hat Schweden ganz knapp gewonnen gegen Argentinien mit 2 Punkten Unterschied. Yeah, and now we start with the anthems actually, and we hope you get a little sparkle of the feeling that is happening in here in this Roller Derby World Cup in Innsbruck.
And we have got our first jam starting on the WFTDI jam line here on the S1 track in Innsbruck in Austria. We are on day 3. And on the jam line for Sweden, we have got Vanilla Slice. And for Switzerland, we have Missing Lestrange.
Yeah, and we will read the rosters to you if you have time. We just want to let you perceive the anthems. Yes, and we see a lot of
action there on turn 1, and that is lead jammer status for Switzerland on Missing Lestrange coming around on their first scoring pass. Meanwhile, we've got Vanilla Slice just completing their initial pass there. And we have had Missing Lestrange go into the Sisu guard penalty box. So this is now a power jam for Vanilla Slice. 2-minute jam for the first jam of this game.
And if you are really confused about the tournament structure, this is a very important game for both of the teams because the winners will move straight to the quarterfinals. They will have another exhausting game today.
Things are certainly hotting up.
Yes. They really want to know it in here. Ja, also die Teams wollen es wirklich wissen, weil das Team, das gewinnt, das wird in die Quarterfinals einziehen und heute noch ein weiteres anstrengendes Spiel haben. Bin sehr gespannt. Schweden hatte gestern ein richtig krass knappes Spiel gegen Argentinien mit 2 Punkten Unterschied. Es gab sehr viele Situationen, wo es keinerlei Lead-Status gab. Die Hölle für BlockerInnen und für JammerInnen erst recht. Ja, here are another 4 points for Sweden.
We have Blue now as your jammer for Switzerland. There has been a star pass completed, and Blue is still battling with the Swedish wall round on turn 3 on this S1 track. And that is the jam called first jam. That is 16 points to Sweden.
Ja, Schweden hat 16 Punkte gemacht.
Yeah, and 3 points on the board for Switzerland.
Yes. Das war jetzt erstmal der erste Jam. Wir gucken mal auf den zweiten Jam. Indetermination für die Schweiz als Jammerin auf dem Track. Und für Team Sweden Party O. Ja, die schwedische Ball hält einfach die Person ganz lange zwischen der Jammer und der Pivot Line. Krasse Defense. Ja, da bewegt sich auch nicht viel. In der Zwischenzeit ist die Jammerin von Schweden schon aus dem Initial, macht schon die ersten 4 Punkte.
And that was some great work there by Partio at the front of the pack, dancing through the Swiss blockers.
Ja, sehr schnelle Bewegungen, bisschen ausgechugt, an der Outside dann vorbeigerannt. Sehr tolle Bewegungen hier, die wir von Team Schweden sehen. Und da wird sehr smart abgecallt, sodass ja, die Schweiz an dieser Stelle leider keinen Punkt machen kann im zweiten Jam. Es wurde ein Starpass versucht, aber dennoch wurde so früh abgecallt, dass Schweden verhindert hat, dass die Schweiz weitere Punkte machte.
Just having a quick look on the Roller Derby World Cup Discord, and we have had some big love for the anthem. So they've been able to be part of it and hear what is going on track down here in Innsbruck. And that is the jammer status for Skardene for Switzerland, very quickly followed by our Sweden jammer.
Ja, und das Pack wird jetzt immer schneller. Jetzt wird es spannend. Was passiert jetzt? Die Jammerin hat noch versucht, einige Punkte zu kriegen und eine Hüfte wurde auch überholt. So, noch ein Punkt für die Schweiz.
That was a very quick jam in that last jam. Switzerland scoring 1 point there and quickly calling it off.
Der erste Punkt für die Schweiz. Schweiz hat übrigens gestern oder die letzten 2 Tage ein richtig krasses Spiel hingelegt, weil ganz wichtig ist natürlich auch immer, wie viele Penalties macht man, wie oft ist man auf dem Track, und die Schweiz hat nur 19 Penalties durchschnittlich pro Spiel gemacht. Das ist sehr, sehr wenig, verglichen mit Schweden zum Beispiel, die haben 42,5 Penalties pro Spiel gemacht.
We have
Wow,
got
great
Yelmer.
offense.
It was lovely, wasn't
Great defense, great defense.
So we have got Yelmer picking up the jammer status for Team Sweden. That was some great one-on-one offense on the front defense there from the Switzerland blockers. And that is Yelmer picking up 4 points on this jam.
Das war ein ganz dramatischer Sturz gerade, aber ist auch schon lange vorbei. Die spielen einfach so schnell. Es ist super schwierig, das zu kommentieren. Sobald man etwas kommentiert, passiert schon die nächste krasse Sache.
And Switzerland, they have now completed a star pass. So Fracassi is now your jammer for Switzerland. They are still caught up in the pack and trying to get through to complete their initial pass.
Genau, Fracassi für die Schweiz aktuell noch auf dem Track. Es wurde ein Starpass gemacht, das war der Pivot. Und der Pivot versucht immer noch durchzukommen. Währenddessen hat Hjelmet für Schweden jetzt ist der Starpass gelungen übrigens bei der Schweiz. Und Hjelmet hat jetzt die Gelegenheit ergriffen zu callen, um zu verhindern, dass weitere Punkte gemacht werden. 8 Punkte für Schweden und wieder leider sogar noch mehr, 11 Punkte für Schweden. Und leider kein Punkt für die Schweiz.
Before we go into the next jam, shall we quickly introduce the teams whilst we're here? So,
Yes.
well, I suppose we should introduce ourselves as well, really. So I'm Cherry Mike Dropia, and this is my co-announcer.
I'm Juxtapose.
And so we're just going to read through your rosters for the game today for, so Team Sweden, who have we got?
I start with Sweden, and I don't have any pronunciation. Maybe you start with Schweiz.
No worries. So I've got for Switzerland, I have got 107, Laura Datar. We've got 11, Nina. 112, Dr. J. Kill. 13, Miss Lestrange. 1312, Them Fatel. 162, Cersei. 26, Purple Pain. 308, Gigi Hardy. 314, Indetermination. 420, Skardene. 44, Sailor Doom. 46, Seri Bulu. 5.
Flegel means actually bad boy in German. I need to say that.
And that is 6-0 Fracassi, 8 Sin Sister.
And for Team Switzerland on the track, there is Nordberg. No, excuse me. There is 107 Laura. Oh, I'm sorry. It's really
It's
exhausting
still early in
here.
the day today.
Yes. Okay. For Team Sweden on the track, there is Frale with the number 1-1, with the number 1-2 Leitlin, with the number 1-3 Freya, with the number 1-4 Spino, with the number 2-0 Smerten, with the number 2-3 Reno, 2-4 Stopless, 2-4-7 Berlin, 4-0-4 Paddy O, 4-2-1 Paddy from the block, 6-6-6 Hannah Satana, 8 Zombie Stardust, 8-1-7 Scandy Crush, 9-0 Vanilla Slice, 9-9 Yelmet. And on the bench for Team Sweden there's Billy, Curly Har, and Mifra and Fenman.
And in that last jam, we had a star stash for the Team Switzerland jammer to get through, but Sweden calling that jam off before any points can be popped on the board. So we're just under 10 minutes into this first half, and we have got Team Sweden on 60 points and Team Switzerland on 4. And we have got a team time out for Team Switzerland. So let's talk about our team time out.
Team Time Out is sponsored by
Crash Course.
Crash Course. And Crash Course helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength, endurance and agility, conquer self-doubt and create the habits of high performers to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in line. Want to make 2-minute champs feel easy? Visit chrissycrash.com to download the free Off Skates roller derby training series. Life is a contact sport. Win.
So both teams coming out with some power this morning.
Yes. Ja, es ist ein wichtiges Spiel. Es geht um die Quarterfinals. Aktuell sieht es relativ eindeutig aus, aber in Derby kann sich sowas auch nochmal drehen. Die Schweiz hat jetzt gerade einen Timeout genommen. Vielleicht werden wir wahrnehmen, ob sich da eine Strategie verändert. Yeah, maybe we see a little strategy change on the Team Switzerland.
Maybe why they've called that timeout, just to try and rein things back in again,
yes.
And bring it all back together.
So on the track for you for Team Sweden is Smerten, and for Team Switzerland Skadonate jamming, and a lot of awesome blockers too. And the blockers from Swiss tried to hold Smerten, but it was too strong. A lot of power.
That is Smartan completing their first scoring pass of this jam and quickly calling the jam off, freezing the Switzerland jammer in the Sisu guard penalty box. And on this next jam, we have got Partio picking up lead jammer status for Sweden. Meanwhile, we still have Scott Nate sat and just entering back onto track from the penalty box. And that is Partio completing their first scoring pass of this jam. Scardinay completing their initial pass. Meanwhile, quick look to the bench, Partio calling the jam, scoring 8 points in that jam. So we have already in this set game so far, we are on jam 8, and we have got Sweden. We have had 5 leads in a row.
Wow.
Putting on the pressure.
Impressive. Yeah, as a blocker, I can say it's really also mindset training to handle the situation. So good luck to Switzerland to cope with that. And maybe we will perceive another strategy now. So Miss Lestrange for Team Switzerland on the track and Hjelmet for Team Sweden pushing in the front of the pack. Two blockers from Team Switzerland holding the jammer for a very long time, but yeah, Hjelmet is through actually.
There was some great reforming there from Team Switzerland's blockers, but Hjelmet just finding space to be able to pick up lead jammer status. That was a lovely knockout from number 8 there from Switzerland.
Switzerland was out of the initial, so the jam is called by Sweden. Ja, nach dem zweiten Scoring-Trip konnte die Schweiz dann auch aus dem Initial Pass rauskommen, sodass Schweden abcallen musste. Es war der erste Scoring-Trip, sorry. Ein Scoring-Trip. Also die Blocker haben eine gute Arbeit geleistet, weil der Jam hat relativ lang gedauert, aber dennoch wurden nur 4 Punkte gemacht. Also großartige Defense auch von der Schweiz. The defense is getting better, I think. Maybe this was the topic in the timeout. Because they were holding them for a very long time.
They were making the jammers work to get through and get those initial and scoring passes through.
Yes.
They're working well together, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this game progresses even more. We've got Vanilla Slice with lead jammer status for Sweden. We've had a star stash for Indetermination. In the meantime, Vanilla Slice picking up 4 points for Sweden, looking to the bench and calling it off.
Und dieser Jam war schon deutlich kürzer, haben wir gesehen. Also der Schweiz ist es jetzt schneller gelungen, durchs Pack zu kommen und auch wieder nur 8 Punkte. Skadonay für die Schweiz auf dem Track und Smerten für Schweden. Bin gespannt, was tatsächlich jetzt die Schweden in der Box besprochen haben, ob wir das sehen werden, was sich verändern wird, ob sich das nochmal annähern wird. Aktuell haben wir 80 Punkte Unterschied. Ich habe schon tatsächlich Spiele gesehen, wo das nochmal gedreht wurde, weil Strategien verändert wurden.
And that is Smartan pushing the Switzerland blockers round over onto turn 1. Both walls are very defensive in this first part of this jam. We've got some offense coming in from a Sweden blocker.
And another
making
one.
some space. Beautiful.
Yes.
That is Freya from Sweden coming to support Smartan at the front of the pack there.
But Switzerland blockers are really doing a great job. They had really some great, massive offenses, but still holding the jammer. Now there needs to be a bridge.
We are a minute now into this jam, but we're still waiting for lead jammer to be called.
I have a déjà vu yesterday. Sweden had a lot of jams against Argentina. So there have been 2 bridges. Now they needed to let the jammer go. But really good teamwork in here. They need to communicate a lot.
That was incredible.
Make decision when do I need to bridge, when do I need to cope with the offense and stuff. It's really a hard job. And finally, also Sweden made it through the pack. Yeah, and only 4 points in this very long jam. They are improving, I would say.
They really worked on that there.
But do you perceive what actually they are doing different? I mean, communication always. But did you see anything that blows up in your mind they changed? I don't know. I just think they're communicating more. I have actually not really a clear idea what they changed, but they are doing better.
I think there was more rooting in that last jam there as well. So staying as one with the floor, shall we say. And we have got Partio picking up lead jammer status for Sweden. Very quickly followed.
Great job in here.
Very quickly followed by Missing Lestrange.
So, werden da noch ein paar Punkte passieren? Ja, mindestens einer auf jeden Fall. Würde ich jetzt mal vermuten. Ich bin kein Official. 2 waren es sogar. Okay. Schweden hat noch 2 Punkte gemacht. Das Pack ist richtig schnell geworden. Das ist auch eine wichtige Strategie. Und dann wurde ganz genau geguckt, wann muss ich jetzt abcallen, damit auch ja die GegnerInnen keinen Punkt machen. Ja, 2 Punkte für Schweden und keinen für die Schweiz. Yeah, we are having very short jams with very less points, I would say. Is my producer saying the same? I think so, yes.
We have got Martin with us producing.
From the fancy Bruisers.
Yeah, from the fearless Bruisers themselves.
Fancy fearless Bruisers.
Shout outs to Martin. So whilst we are waiting for this team time out, let's have a little chat about S1. We are on the S1 track today. So S1, they are official protective gear of the Roller Derby World Cup. The S1 Lifer helmet, best fit and best protection equals made for roller derby. Get a lifer, be a lifer. S1 helmets and pads protecting roller derby since 2006. Visit s1helmets.com.
And timeout is over. The skaters are lining up. For very flat wall, Sweden starts on the jammer line.
Both teams have one blocker in the box as well.
Falls sich jemand fragt, was die WFTDI Jammer Line eigentlich ist, WFTDI ist eine Insurance, also eine Versicherung, die vor allem Menschen in den Staaten abschließen müssten. Wusste ich nicht, interessanter Fakt. Okay, Sweden achieving lead status again, the first scoring trip. Yeah, this was very fast, only 20 seconds. Also Sweden is adapting, I think.
And that is Fraxé going back towards Jammer with the helmet cover in their hand.
Helmet is calling off.
And I think the Jammer for Switzerland is actually sat in the Sisu guard's penalty box, so Sweden will be
Power Jam
starting
start.
on a Power Jam. They will indeed.
Okay, Power Jam Startsituation für Schweden. Das heißt, die SchweizerInnen haben aktuell keine Jammer-Person auf dem Track. Die sitzt leider in der Sisu Mouthguard Penalty Box. Mal sehen, welche Offense jetzt vermutlich von Schweden zu erwarten ist. Okay, das war eine sehr effektive Offense. Vanilla Slice geht ganz schnell durchs Pack.
And the Sweden blockers there doing a great job of keeping the Switzerland blockers split up. They were not allowing them to be more than of 2 people together. They were doing a great job.
Almost no contact actually, because they worked so effectively splitting them out.
And so we have Indetermination back from the Sisu guard penalty box, and they are now battling with the Sweden blockers round on turn 3. Meanwhile, Vanilla Slice is coming through on their 3rd scoring pass, dipping to the outside and completing that 3rd scoring pass. Meanwhile, Indetermination trying to get some help and support from the Switzerland blockers there.
Yes,
on the inside line, completing their initial pass for Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland is calling the jams very soon. They could have waited, they could have played for having time, but they decided to call it off. So they really want to make a lot of points. It's important to get a lot of points in here. Do you know why? Because of the tournament structure.
That's it. I have heard the rumours. I'm still struggling. I need a lot of post-it notes and a big flow chart to work out how it's all working out. I'm going along with the flow.
Secret and really
intricate,
crazy algorithms. But it's very important for the teams to achieve every single point, because it's important to go to the quarterfinals and
the differentials are going to start to matter, aren't they? So
especially the teams who did not win all of the games, they really need to fight hard for the points to get in. So there are 2 teams in here who lost 1 game, but if they are doing a great job with a lot of scoring points, then they could go to the quarterfinals still.
So just whilst we was going through that, that was a great hit off by number 12, Lightning from Sweden, recycling the Switzerland jammer Skardene to the back of the pack.
And Skardene is through the initial. Schweizer Blockerin ist durch das Pack. Sehen wir da jetzt Punkte? Nein, es wird leider vorher abgecallt. Keine Punkte für die Schweiz in diesem 15. Jam. Und 8 Punkte für Schweden. 122 Punkte für Schweden und 4 für die Schweiz. Wir haben noch 10 Minuten zu spielen in dieser ersten Halbzeit. Und ja, ist schon krass. Also 12 Leads in Folge für Schweden. Das ist eine krasse Leistung. So 12 leads in a row for Sweden. That's a great job.
And that is Partio picking up lead jammer status for Team Sweden in this game. And we have got Purple Pain jamming for Team Switzerland. And that is Partio exiting the pack backwards on their way round onto turn 1.
And one blocker sitting in the penalty box by Team Switzerland. Is now able to stand. Maybe we see an effective offense.
Nice little hop there from Partio, picking up 4 more points for Team Sweden. Currently on a 12-point jam.
Yes, the blocker Nina from Switzerland. Actually, she came out with the mood I'm always having when I'm sitting in the penalty box. I really want to do a quick offense, and that was what she was doing. But it's a long time ago. Now we are already in the jam afterwards.
So you've had a rest when you've had been in the penalty box. You can come back in.
Yes. Star Pass für die Schweiz an Gigi Hardy.
Start pass was a great tactical play there from Switzerland at that point, and it's caused enough of a ruckus really for Sweden to call that jam after a stunning 20 points on that last jam there.
So there is a team timeout for Sweden. Which gives us the chance to read some sponsor reads. So I already mentioned the WFTDI insurance. They are supporting this World Cup. Thanks for that. And yeah, what is this? They say, start every jam off knowing you're covered with WFTDI insurance. WFTDI, keeping you on track. So visit www.wftdi.com.
We are getting ready for the next jam, and we have got our jammers getting ready on the WFTDI jam line. And so we have got Vanilla Slice on the WFTDI jam line, taking lead jammer status for Sweden. We have got Mr. Strange jamming for Team Switzerland. Mr. Strange doing a great job of pushing those blockers out, and they jump up against a 2-wall at the front. Wasn't quite enough. She got knocked to the inside and recycled back. However, she has now completed her initial pass. And you can see Vanilla Slice calling for some points and help as she was coming through.
And what I find really interesting, there hasn't been any jammer penalty for Sweden.
And so the jammers are playing a very clean game so far.
Yes. All together. Yeah, Sweden is really playing a good job. I mean, they had a chance to prepare a lot. They had intense training camps, multiple international bouts. They studied footage. They say, we interviewed them before all this tournament happened. They nerded out over German tendencies and practice communication, and we can see that today. And I think a benefit is also that a lot of skaters are used to play together at Crime City. There are also players from Stockholm, Gothenburg, Burst City and Festherras.
And Jelmer is coming round onto their second scoring pass for Sweden. Meanwhile, we do have two Sweden blockers sat in the Sisu Gods penalty box. Well, the Team Switzerland will round at turn 2, prepared, ready for Jelmer to come through. Jelmer is still working with the Switzerland rules. However, meanwhile, we have had the Switzerland pivot. There had been a star pass to the Switzerland pivot. So Gigi Hardy was your jammer, and Gigi Hardy is currently sat in the Sisu God penalty box, and Sweden will be starting this next jam on a power jam start. Sisu mouthguards. Smash hard, skate harder. Sisu mouthguards has your back and your teeth. Sisu is the official mouthguard of the Roller Derby World Cup.
And as I mentioned before, Sweden is really doing a great job, but still they don't have that huge and much scoring points. So we see that also Switzerland is doing a great job because they are having defense a lot. Also die Schweiz hat zwar jetzt nur 4 Punkte, aber dennoch muss man sagen, dass es Schweden nicht gelingt, dass sie regelmäßig 24-Punkte-Jams hier fahren. Also sie haben die höchste Punktzahl war einmal 20 Punkte, dann einmal 16, zweimal 16, dreimal 16, einmal 11. Ansonsten ist es immer zwischen 2 und 8 Punkten. Also das spricht schon dafür, dass die Schweiz auch eine sehr effektive Defense hat und sie hat sich auch verbessert. Spätestens nach dem Timeout haben wir wahrgenommen, dass die Defense besser zusammenarbeitet. So what is happening on the track?
On track, so we currently have two Team Switzerland blockers sat in the penalty box. Meanwhile, we have got Partio coming round on their 4th scoring pass. They get knocked to the out, but they're able to stay inbounds with some lovely footwork on the outside. Coming through and completing that pass. Meanwhile, the Team Sweden blockers are on lockdown over on turn 1. They've got a 2-wall at the back. And that is a great recycle back on Partio. Partio got knocked out on the outside by Switzerland blockers. Finding some space.
Yeah, they're working really good as a team in here. The defense is doing a great job. Now there was the out of play call, and unfortunately one person had a forearm penalty in here. 1-6-2 needs to go to the Saisung Mouthguard penalty box.
And that was Fracassi with the helmet cover for Switzerland at the end there, taking a little whip off of their blocker on the inside between turns 1 and 2, managing to get through. Unfortunately, we have got 3 blockers for Switzerland starting in the penalty box, and we have got number 8 on track. That is Sin's sister, representing Team Switzerland in the blocker world, our WFTDI jam line. In terms of jammers, we have got Sweden picking up lead jammer status, and that is Frau. We have Mr. Lestrange still trying to complete their initial pass. Both teams have only got 2 blockers apiece now on the track.
Ein krasser Sprint an der Innenseite, an der Inside von Missy Lestrange. Missy Lestrange hat übrigens richtig viele Punkte gemacht gestern. und heute. 301 Punkte. Es ist die Jammer-Person, die die meisten Punkte im ganzen Spiel gemacht hat. Das ist wirklich im ganzen Tournament an Tag 1 und Tag 2 gemacht hat. Das ist wirklich krass. So Missy Lestrange did a great job in day 1 and day 2. 301 points she scored.
So is she the highest one that
She's the highest one.
She's the highest scoring jammer, and that is across the tournament as well.
On day 1 and day 2 all together. I mean, today will probably change.
So we have got less than 2 minutes left of this first period, and we have got on the scoreboard 4 points for Team Switzerland and 184 for Sweden.
Ja, falls euch die Struktur des Turniers oder des World Cups hier nochmal mehr interessiert, das wurde auch erklärt auf Instagram, aber ich kann es euch kurz sagen, es gibt 4 Staffeln, die zusammengemischt wurden, die vorher eruiert wurden, und heute ist der erste Tag, wo Teams von Staffel 1 und 2, die in den ersten beiden Tagen gegeneinander gespielt haben, jetzt aufeinandertreffen auf Teams, die in Staffel 3 und 4 waren. Genau. So, still, it's a very important game. The team who is winning goes straight to quarterfinals, but without officials, there would be no game.
There would be no game.
So, who are the NSOs in this game?
So, our non-skating officials today, we have got Danger Muffin, Dorlane Gray, Eagle Eye Mary, Flora, Gasoline, Iconic, Invader Sin, Minerva McGonagall, Nerd Herder, Scotchy, Shirley Temple, T, and who's our skating officials?
Our skate officials are By Curious George, Dread Vader, Fünfstiefel Stern, Holly, Menas, Mercy B. Coop, Professor Vex, Guaga, and the Horse Whistler.
So we have actually had some appreciation for some of our skating officials' outfits today, because we've got a ref dress on track in front of us. So it's fun to see that people are recognising everybody on track today.
I also really like this colorful skates from the Swisser, from the blocker from Switz, 308. If you are having the chance to perceive them, I think every color, at least I know, is in this skate. Gigi Hardy, the name is.
Talking of skates, we've got so many great vendors here today over this entire tournament, supporting and sponsoring this World Cup. So someone who produced some great roller skates, we have got Vifa Skates. Vifa is a historic European skate brand, crafting quality footwear since 1920 and producing roller skates since the 1950s. Proudly made in Europe, Vifa combines tradition with innovation, right from their Vienna-based workshop. Learn more about their colour customizable line at vifaskates.com and find them on Instagram at vifaskates.
Riedel Skates is also producing some very nice skates, and this mark is trusted by derby athletes around the globe. Riedel Skates crafts the products, delivering the performance, durability and precision that world-class competition demands. Skate fierce, skate Riedel. So what is actually going on at the track? We just finished the official timeout, and now we are at the end of the first period in Jam 21. Missy Lestrange for Team Switzerland and Hjelmet is achieving the lead status for Sweden, but is persecuted by Missy Lestrange.
There was some big cheers there for Missy Lestrange as they completed their initial pass. I mean, they really put on the pressure. She really put on the pressure there for Sweden. Still managing to score 3 points for Sweden there before they called the jam, but Missy completing that initial
Yes, sehr gut gemacht. Sehr gut und sehr, sehr schnell. Very quick. So avoiding points is also a good job, you know. This is very important. We have 1 minute left in this first period. Team Sweden is playing in yellow. Team Switzerland is playing in black. Vanilla Slice for Sweden on the track as a jammer, and Scardone for Team Switzerland.
We've got the Team Sweden wall at the back of the pack, really dug into the ground there. Meanwhile, Vanilla Slice picking up lead jammer status, using pure strength to push those blockers forwards and break that pack.
Schnelle Offense von der Schweiz gespielt, sodass es möglich war, dass auch Scadonay schnell durchkam. Das ist immer eine gute Strategie, wenn die gegnerische Jammerin durch ist. Weitermachen und schnell die Offense machen, nicht ausruhen, sodass die eigene Jammerin schnell durchsliden kann. Insgesamt sieht man, dass die Schweiz defensiver spielt. Die 4 BlockerInnen bleiben häufig zusammen. In Schweden, die erlauben sich eine Person generell als Offense abzustellen. Jetzt sind wir in der Halbzeit. Intermission now.
We are now at halftime of this game, and we have finished this first period with 4 points to Team Switzerland and 191 points for Team Sweden.
Wow.
We've seen some low-scoring jams, haven't we? I think even though there is quite the differential there, Switzerland have been putting the pressure on, so that once their jammers have completed their initial pass, Sweden are quite quick to call the jam off. So I think Switzerland are doing a great job of holding their ground, and they're completing their star passes, and if not, they're providing some offense and finding some space. I mean, even some of the strength from the jammers, just pushing and stretching the pack out far enough to be able to pick up that initial pass.
Yes, and they improved their defense game a lot. And just as we perceived in the last jam, they are having the ability to do some very smart offense in between when the jam is on the scoring trip, which is a very important job.
It is indeed. Yes. Okay, so we are now at half-time, so we will see you back here in just, well, about 13 minutes
13 minutes. See you later.
Bye.
Hey, I'm Scald Eagle, and I wear the S1 Lifer helmet with medium Terry liners. When I'm hitting the track, the last thing I want to be thinking about is how my gear is fitting. My S1 derby gear is just set to jet. I can't live without it. S1, protecting roller derby since 2006.
First rule of Sisu is, wearing a mouth guard is cool. Say the word. Sisu! Second rule of Sisu is, use a thin mouth guard, not a big old gummy one. Say the word. Sisu! Third rule, pick your Sisu style. Fourth rule, talk, breathe, drink, easily. Sisu, Sisu, Sisu! The final rule of Sisu is, unlike others, you got up to 20 times to reload it. Who's got Sisu? Sisu!
They call it a sport, but we know better. It's a symphony of dedication, grit, and heart. Tuned to one another in a composition of chaos on a stage built for progress. Athlete-driven innovation from the first whistle to the final score. Every hit, every fall, every win, every loss, every team, every season, everybody. We've got you covered.
morning and welcome back to the 2025 Roller Derby World Cup hosted by the fearless Bruisers in Innsbruck, Austria. This is game 54 on the S1 track. We have got Team Sweden playing in yellow and Team Switzerland playing in black. I'm Cherry Mike Drop here back with you and this is my co-announcer.
Juxtapose. Hallöchen zurück zu Game Nummer 54. Schweden spielt in Gelb und die Schweiz spielt in Schwarz. Und wir haben aktuell einen Punktestand von 191 für Schweden und 4 bei der Schweiz. So, the scoreboard says 191 points for Sweden and 4 for Switzerland.
So we've seen some penalties in that first half already, haven't we? So we have had Switzerland are currently sat on 20 penalties. Considering their last 2 games, they've only reached 19 over the whole game.
Yes.
That has been the average so far. So they're already quite penalty heavy. And meanwhile, Sweden are currently sat with 12 penalties. We've got Vanilla Slice with lead jammer status for Team Sweden coming round on their scoring pass. Some great offense there from the Team Sweden blockers coming through. Vanilla Slice rolling backwards through the pack and calling the jam after 4 points. We've had some statistics from our producer, Martin. We have got 404 for Sweden, that'll be Party O. She was the top point scorer for Sweden. She has scored 79 points. 71 points.
In the first period. Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot of points. So,
wow. I mean 301 points have been scored on 2 days. That's also a lot. But 71, wow.
That is Partio. Talking of Partio, that is Partio picking up lead jammer statuses for Sweden and scoring the first 4 points of this jam. We have had a helmet cover on the floor for Team Switzerland, quickly recovered by and beautifully passed to our new jammer for Team Switzerland, and that is Fracasse. So this is something that we were saying at the end of the last period, is that Switzerland are very good at completing their star passes and completing that initial pass, causing the pressure on Sweden to call that jam after 4 or 8 points. There weren't many double-figured scores per jam in that first half, were there? They're all quite low-scoring jams as a whole.
Yes.
So I think it was a jam 16. We had a 20-pointer.
That's right.
But before then, we was around 8 points per jam when Sweden were lead. So
yeah, there have been 3. Or the highest scoring jam was 24 actually, and there have been 3 also with 16, but we see a lot of 8, 3, 4. So it doesn't look like it, but Switzerland is still doing a really good defense job in here, as we can see now at the moment, really going in there with a big effort. The blocker 4-6 on Team Switzerland, really holding in a frontal block. This is really exhausting.
Meanwhile, Skardene being recycled back by Sweden blockers. However, doing a fantastic job and capitalising on that recycle and run-up, completing her initial pass for Team Switzerland.
Skardene. Ja, 8 Punkte für Schweden in diesem dritten Jam. Keine Punkte für die Schweiz. Aber wie gesagt, 8 Punkte sind nicht so viel. Und es ist auch wichtig, den Jam irgendwann zu beenden. Und ja.
On the WFTDI jam line, we have got Purple Pain jamming for Team Switzerland and Yelmut for Team Sweden. And that was some great coverage there from the Sweden blocker at the back. I think it was number 12, sat straight on the Switzerland jammer on the jam line. Meanwhile, we have got Yelmut pushing, using pure strength to push those Switzerland blockers forwards, picking up lead jammer status for Team Sweden and hopping round the outside, scoring the first 4 points of this jam.
So, another penalty for Switzerland. I think it was a back block. But also Sweden has 1 blocker in the Sisu Mavgard penalty box over there.
Oh, that was a great catch by Fracasset for Team Switzerland. Yelmet squeezing past still and popping another 4 points on the board for Team Sweden, finishing that jam on 12 points to no points for Switzerland. So we are just under 5 minutes into the second period with 223 points for Sweden and 4 points for Switzerland.
Und wir sehen, Schweden spielt immer noch so ein bisschen auf Zeit. Sie hätten den Jam auch später abcallen können und die Penalty-Box noch leer machen, weil es war, jetzt sind mittlerweile 2, aber eine Person steht schon. Die hätte man noch hätte Mensch noch rauskriegen können, aber es wurde so abgecallt, dass die Schweiz wirklich keine Punkte machen konnte. Also die spielen auf Zeit, die wollen jede Sekunde hier nutzen, um Punkte zu machen. Richtig gierig. Schweden really wants to get some points. They're calling it off, although the penalty box was still filled with one blocker. I mean, the second blocker just came in between. But they could have waited, right?
They
really want the points.
So they've got 2 blockers in the penalty box for Team Sweden at the moment,
Yes.
in the Sisu guard penalty box. Team Switzerland also have 1 blocker currently standing, so we'll be joining their fellow teammates on track shortly, very shortly indeed. They are back on track already.
Jam 5 is on. We have Missy Lestrange, the most scoring jammer. And now achieving lead status, and here in the crowd is really getting crazy because that is a rare moment for Team Switzerland in this game. Missy Lestrange really did a great job in the first and the second day of this tournament. And again, achieving points now. First 4 points for Switzerland, and the crowd is really going crazy, celebrating it a lot. Now Switzerland is calling it off. They also could have went on, but they decided no points for you too. You're doing the same as you did.
It's great points preservation. As we've discussed, it is it's important. The point differential is important for this game,
Yes.
heading into the quarterfinals. And so we have got Team Sweden on the WFTDI jam line. We have got Partio jamming for Team Sweden and Indetermination for Team Switzerland. Sisu guard box has just had a blocker sit, and we've got Partio with lead jammer status.
Indetermination took off the helmet cover, I think, and did a star stash. So this is not a star pass. Indetermination completed the initial. There is the call. So again, 0 points for Switzerland.
And they have, again, they've frozen one of the Team Switzerland blockers in the penalty box. But Team Sweden, as a blocker contingency there, did a great job of keeping Team Switzerland blockers split up, creating space for Partio to come through and score some points.
So we have Skadone for Switzerland, jamming, and Frolle for Team Sweden. In this moment achieving the lead status. Frolle for 1-1. Oh, there's a helmet cover on the floor, and the jammer put it. It's important to dust that. Another 4 points for Frolle, or the first 4 points actually, and the star pass
GG
for
Harding.
Team Switzerland. Jam is called. 8 points for Sweden.
So we spoke a little bit about Team Sweden. So Team Switzerland, when we've been speaking to teams ahead of this event, so what does this mean for Team Switzerland? It's the Derby dream coming true, the chance to proudly represent the amazing Swiss Derby community, show off all the hours of training and bruisers, and finally share the track with the fantastic players we've been admiring from afar.
Yes, and the 5-second call just hit it. And as Sweden said before this tournament, that's a magical moment for them. When the 5-second call hits, the whistle blows, and we're locking in a tripod that holds against world-class jammers. They want to testing their apex jumps and perfecting their offense and screaming bridge.
And that was a great line on the inside there for Purple Pain for Team Switzerland, completing their initial jump. They just found an inch of space on the inside line and completed that initial, again putting on the pressure. Yelmut picking up another 4 points for Sweden and swiftly calling the jam.
So 8 points in a row, the last 3 jams, which means that also Switzerland is doing a great job because there are only 2 scoring trips. Now we have Indetermination jamming for Team Switzerland in the color. I really need to concentrate. Why? In the color black, and Sweden playing in yellow. Now achieving lead status for the jammer Vanilla Slice.
Vanilla Slice really sliced through the blockers on the Switzerland there.
Der Name ist Programm. Name is program, it's not a translation, right? Der Name ist Programm, you say in German. She actually is doing what
That was
you see.
Oh, okay.
493 from
The name speaks for itself,
Chinese
so.
nations.
And we have had a star pass to Fricassé for Team Switzerland. It's been passed back. I think there was an incomplete star pass, should I say. So Fricassé was not granted jammer status, so they've had to have a reset. And so Indetermination is still your jammer for Team Switzerland. Fricassé is back, helping support the tripod at the front for Team Switzerland. They're doing a great job up here, keeping
great
hold
offense,
of Vanilla
Fricassé in here. Wow, great movements just in front of our eyes. The Switzerland jammer. Fricassé.
I mean, like Team Switzerland, admiring skaters from afar. Myself, I'm sat here admiring skaters from afar, but in-house.
Yes, of course, also the Swedish defense is quite strong, as you see. Satan 666 hitting the blocker out, recycling it all the way back, and they're doing it very smart because they're bridging, but during recycling.
Extending,
That's
using
so
the
mean.
full, like.
Actually, it's smart.
It's,
to do
I
that.
mean, it's
not
great
mean, it's a game.
awareness. Mhm.
Yeah. But as a blocker, I would say.
Vanilla Slice coming in with a powerful hit from behind there. Still managed to pick up three more points for Sweden. So altogether in that last jam, Vanilla Slice picking up 15 points. We are about 12 minutes into this second period. And we have got 262 points on the board for Sweden to Switzerland's 8.
Ja, 15 Punkte für Schweden in diesem Jam. Davor waren 3 Jams, wo 8 Punkte gemacht wurden. Also sie verbessern es, mehr Punkte zu machen. Vielleicht ist auch die Defense langsam erschöpft. Es sieht nicht so aus, sie machen immer noch einen guten Job, aber ja, es gelingt Schweden langsam mehr Punkte zu machen und ich habe das Gefühl, sie kommen noch mehr rein als sowieso schon.
Missy Lestrange completing her initial pass there for Switzerland again. We have got four points on the board for Sweden.
So were not able to increase. So again, very less points for Sweden in this 10th jam, the second period. Yeah, Team Sweden is playing in yellow, doing a really great job in here, as the scoreboard says, but the scoreboard will not tell you that also Team Switzerland is doing a great job because they avoid that Sweden is making a lot of points. So the defense working together and communicating, as you see in front of the pack at the moment. They are bridging just in the right moment. And I mean, it can be exhausting to do this for a very long time, but they are doing it for almost 45 minutes.
Skardene with the helmet cover in hand, being recycled back from the Sweden blockers, and here we are seeing their strong tripods that they have been practicing and putting the work in. And that was a star pass to our new jammer, Gigi Hardy, for Team Switzerland. That has been successfully completed. They are coming round. However, Team Sweden calling the jammer off before any points can be put on the board.
Yeah, really props for the jammers in here. No jammer penalties at all so far in the second period on the side of Team Sweden.
It's both
The
for the
producer
second
says
half.
both. Okay.
So the jammers
It's a
are
yellow post-it. I thought it's only Sweden. But we also have Team Switzerland. Wow, no jammer penalties. So no power jam situation. Five seconds call by the jam timer. And the blockers and jammers lining up over there. Hjelmet for Team Sweden is jamming and already in front of the pack and achieving lead status. Purple Paint for Team Switzerland, still in the initial, trying to get through. And now we see an offense, hopefully, that the person Purple Paint is able to get through. And now they need to concentrate on defense again. One blocker is missing in the team, Switzerland, at the moment, because now the blocker is standing in the CC Mouthguard penalty box. So come back and help them.
I was really appreciating some offense there provided from Freya from Team Sweden, just breaking up the two at the front, ready for Hjelmet to come round and score some points.
Did you see that on the outside? The Swedish jammer tried to stay in for a couple of meters, tried to stay in and then
Got
not
knocked
work
out.
out. No, not out, just losing gravity.
Just loses the balance there.
Just losing balance, right. Hjelmet, 16 points already in this jam.
And it looks so that we have had a star pass completed for Team Switzerland. So your new jammer for Team Switzerland is Fracassi. Yeah, we've got some offensive jamming happening between turns 3 and 4 as we go into the jam line background there, and the jam is quickly called off.
Team timeout, yes. Team timeout on the side of the Switzerland team.
So our team timeouts have been sponsored by Crash Course. Crash Course helps busy roller derby athletes increase strength, endurance and agility, conquer self-doubt and create the habits of high performers to become all-stars and MVPs on the track and in life. Want a custom training plan with accountability, skill and footage reviews, nutrition strategies and athlete mindset development curated by a knowledgeable team of coaches so you can level up this year? Visit chrissycrash.com to apply now. Life is a contact sport. Win.
So we just saw a jam where 20 points were scored for Sweden. So big scored jam.
Is that our biggest scoring jam this half so far?
Yes.
We're just over halfway through this second period of game 54 down here on the S1 track here at the Roller Derby World Cup 2025.
And I really like the speed, the spirit shown by Team Switzerland. They are cheering, they're still having energy, they're fighting for avoiding or achieving any point. And this is very important to keep that mindset.
Absolutely. Got to keep it positive. And that is Vanilla Slice picking up lead jammer status for Team Sweden. Meanwhile, we have got Team Switzerland blockers helping to support. And that great work over before turn 1 helped their jammer get out, complete their initial pass. Vanilla Slice still popping 4 points on the board for Team Sweden.
Ja, auf der Bench für die Schweiz ist Fraka Güs, Queener Man und Gypsy Danger. Und ja, ich finde das immer beeindruckend, wie man so ein Team managt und auch in solchen Situationen noch motivieren kann. Das ist wirklich sehr wichtig. 8 Punkte gegen fast 300 Punkte. Das ist super, super anstrengend, da dran zu bleiben. Und ja, ich habe großen Respekt für Team Schweiz in diesem Spiel.
And we have got Partio jamming for Team Sweden and Missy Lestrange for Team Switzerland. Partio on their first scoring pass. Meanwhile, Missy Lestrange completing their initial and coming round very quickly into that pack. Partio looking round to the bench and calling the jam. I think we're still confirming points for Sweden, and that is 2 points there for Partio.
In case you wondered why the announcers are wearing so great colors today, we decided to give every day a theme, how to dress. So today our theme is Protect Trans Lives, and as you see the trans flag, you see our colors. So now Skardonay is digging in, trying to get through, but Frolle is the first jammer here achieving lead status.
Oh, that was some great offense
Yes.
from Sin Sister, capping and stopping the Sweden blockers on the inside, opening a space for Skardonay to get through on their initial pass. Meanwhile, we've got Frolle looking back and calling the jam after completing their scoring pass.
And they've been waiting now, that's a difference. A couple of minutes before, in the first period, they called it immediately. Now they have been waiting till the other jammer comes around, so they are not playing.
They're running the clock a little bit more now.
Yes, little chilled. Oh. Ja, also es sieht so aus, als ob Schweden jetzt nicht mehr so krass auf Zeit spielt wie vorher. Sie hätten das früher abcallen können, haben sie in der ersten Halbzeit noch gemacht. Jetzt haben sie ein bisschen gewartet. Yeah, Yelmet is really pushing in front of the pack, very strong first. Last line of defense was holding Yelmet for a couple of seconds. But yeah, and Yelmet is really speeding very fast through it. Only a couple of seconds for the first initial pass, the first points in here on this 16th jam.
Yelmet finding that inside line. There was a great capture there by Fracasse from Team Switzerland, managing to knock Yelmet out and recycling back. And we had a star pass. I feel like Switzerland are really solid with these. I've said it once, probably 4 times already. I'm gonna say it again. Switzerland and their star passes, they are hot on it. They are completing many star passes. They've had 4 so far in the second period, and so that's in 20 minutes. So they've had 4 so far, and they are successful star passes.
Yes. So 10 more minutes to go in this game.
On the WFTDI jam line, we have got Vanilla Slice jamming for Sweden. And we have just had Missy Lestrange sent to the penalty box. I'm unsure what penalty that caused that. So it is a power jam currently for Team Sweden. However, the Team Switzerland blockers at the front round here on turn 2 were doing a great job. They managed to stop the momentum. However, Vanilla Slice did find some, well, again, sliced through the blockers, broke the wall up and was able to find some space to pop 4 points on the board for Sweden. Again, Team Sweden blockers keeping the Switzerland blockers split over onto turn 3. We have got Miss Lestrange back from the penalty box. And an apex jump, and which was shut down by number 14 of Team Sweden.
Missy Lestrange really keeping control in this apex jump. It was a really massive hit, but Missy Lestrange was able to stay on the skates. Wow, really impressive.
Just bounced straight back up again.
Yes, like nothing
back
happened.
to it. Yeah, exactly.
The face didn't change at all.
No.
Oh, that's normal.
Completely unfazed. We've got Vanilla Slice coming in on her fourth scoring pass for Team Sweden. We have had a star pass for Team Switzerland. Seri Blue is now your jammer for Team Switzerland. Currently caught in the Team Sweden tripod over on turn 4. Meanwhile, Vanilla Slice really pushing the Team Switzerland blockers whilst they are hankered down.
Yeah, they are really pocketing a lot. Trying to...
Vanilla Slice finding space, tiptoeing around the outside. Looking at the clock, letting the jam come to its natural conclusion. And that was a 16-point jam there for Vanilla Slice. With 8 minutes on the clock, we have got Team Sweden at 327 versus Team Switzerland at 8.
420 Team Switzerland is also a jammer who made a lot of points in the first 2 days of this tournament, by the way. I think 11th or 12th. There have been two jammers on the Switzerland team who were achieving a lot of points in this tournament in the first and second day. I mean, of course, today will change by looking at the score, but 420, the jammer for Switzerland, Scardone, was really doing a great job the last 2 days. And we will see how the next jam will happen, what Scardone will do. Ja, ich habe gerade erzählt, die Schweiz hat wirklich viele, viele Punkte gemacht. Nicht nur Missy Lestrange war auf dem ersten Platz. Also war die Jammerin, die am meisten Punkte gemacht hat von allen JammerInnen an Tag 1 und Tag 2 dieses World Cups. Und Team Schweiz hatte auch auf der 11. und 12. Position dieses Rankings 2 JammerInnen. Official timeout at the moment. It's interesting, we didn't have any official review.
We have not had an official review yet,
Yes.
no. It looks like they're having a discussion, and I'm wondering if somebody will be heading to the penalty box. No? We are all good. We have got a full contingency of blockers for both teams on our WFTDI jam line.
So 5 seconds call. It's really hard to understand sometimes. We don't understand our own word because just behind us there is a really exciting game, by the way.
But you want to stay here. You want to stay here and carry on watching Sweden, Switzerland. We've got Partio with lead jammer status, taking a lovely whip round the outside off of their fellow blocker. We have got Scardone, I believe, has passed the star to Fracasse, who is now your jammer for Team Switzerland. Again, the Switzerland jammers, blockers, very quick to go back and provide some offense for their jammers. Unfortunately, at that moment, did not get the opportunity to reform back into the defensive mode.
So Fracasse putting on the star helmet. Fracasse was a pivot once, trying to get through, getting some offense, but it's really hard to move those stable blockers from Sweden. Massive hit on the inside.
That was a really strong hit there. That was number 24.
Really smart recycling here on the Swedish team. They're bridging back. Yeah, and the jammer from Sweden is playing a little defense.
So the strong hit a minute ago was from Stopless, who has just helped as well break up the wall a little bit for Partio and provide some offense at the front of the pack there for Team Sweden.
24 points already for Sweden. Wow.
This is going to be our biggest jam so far.
Yes, it's a big party. Oh.
We have got... Oh, that was some great balance there from Partio on the outside. Nearly came out of bounds.
This was a 2-minute jam.
And Partio is just working on their cardio.
Yes.
Picking up 32 points for Team Sweden. We have 5.5 minutes left of this game.
Also es war ein 2-Minuten-Jam, aber nicht absichtlich. Also manchmal ist es ja ein 2-Minuten-Jam, weil der Leadstatus verloren wird. Dann muss man 2 Minuten jammen. Jetzt war es so, dass leider es Schweden nicht, der Schweiz nicht gelungen ist, durch das Pack zu kommen, sodass Schweden sehr, sehr viele Punkte machen konnte.
Oh, on the
Und zwar
WFTD
32.
On the WFTDI jam line, we saw pretty much an instant removal of the helmet cover from the jammer who was lined up, so indetermination for Team Switzerland. I mean...
Did you see that stumbling? That looked really kind of cute and funny at the same time.
So Sweden picked up lead jammer status fairly quickly, to be fair, on that one.
Yes.
Oh, some beautiful toe-stop work
Yes,
round the
Missy
outside from
Lestrange.
Missy Lestrange. There was a star pass. Missy Lestrange was your pivot. Turn into your jammer. However, Sweden did call that off before Switzerland can get any points on the board. Sweden very much keeping control of this scoreline. Oh, whilst we've got a little bit of a pause, talk about 888. 888 elevating derby safety standards with cutting-edge technology. 888.
By the way, this broadcast is brought to you in part by TSG, the trusted brand in action sports protection. Whether you're jamming, blocking, or just rolling for fun. Oh, is there a lead service? I need to interrupt.
We had a lead jammer status for Skardene of Team Switzerland.
Are there any points?
I think they are having a conversation to confirm any points and to see where we are at.
Yeah, I would wish them some points. In the first period, they achieved 4 points. In the second, also 4 points.
And
yes, there are the 4 points. The crowd is really celebrating. That's a great mindset, celebrating every point.
I mean, that was an extremely quick start. I don't think the blockers were quite ready for that to start there. Vanilla Slice diving through the pack, picking up lead jammer status very quickly for Sweden. Coming back through, already scoring 4 points. We have had a star pass.
To Missy Lestrange. Really doing a great job in here. Very fast, very powerful. So, 2,5 Minuten noch zu spielen in diesem Spiel. Team Schweden in Gelb und Team Schweiz in Schwarz. Schweiz hat einen guten Job gemacht, auch wenn es nicht so aussieht. Es ist sehr anstrengend, so lange eine Defense aufrecht zu erhalten, den Spirit nicht zu verlieren. Und wir haben gerade gesehen, es wurden gerade am Ende dieser zweiten Halbzeit immer noch 4 Punkte gemacht. Also sie bleiben dran. Auch wenn natürlich ganz klar ist, wer hier ins Quarterfinal einziehen wird, und zwar Schweden. Sweden, actually, as you assume, kind of won this game probably. So they are able to get in the quarterfinals, having another game today. We don't know
who that will be against
that
yet.
will be.
No. So earlier on today, we've already had France versus Netherlands, and France came up with the win earlier on this track today. So that was the first game. So we've already got France heading towards the quarterfinals. And we have also had USA roller derby versus West Indies next door as well over on track 2. And USA took the win there. So we've got France and USA ready to go to the quarterfinals later.
But the algorithm will tell us. We don't do big maths in here now. The algorithm will tell us
we don't know who they're playing against. We'll find that out later.
Yeah, but Sweden really was hungry for every single point because it matters for the algorithm.
And on the WFTDI jam line, we have got Partio jamming and taking lead jam status for Sweden. We have got Skardene jamming for Team Switzerland. And Partio battling on the outside, getting through the Team Switzerland blockers, popping 4 points on the board for Sweden. Meanwhile, Switzerland blockers not quite ready for Partio to come back through. Partio scoring another 4 points. Offering some support for their jammer Skardene to get through and complete her initial pass. And Partio not to the inside line and recycled back. Oh, we can see that Sweden tripod really working hard at the back, keeping Skardene.
And we see Padio is exhausted, you know? I mean, maybe the scoreboard doesn't assume that the persons feel like that, but you can see how exhausted the person is.
I mean, it might have something to do with the previous 32-point jam that she completed earlier on.
Maybe.
And so we have got a tripod back for Team Switzerland at the front. They've got a great grind here on turn 2 on the S1 track. Padio finding some space and some breathing room to get through and get another 4 points on the board for Sweden.
1-3-1-2, Dem fatal. Bleibt wirklich dran, geht nochmal nach, versucht die Person noch rauszukriegen. Auch jetzt immer sehr an der Jammer-Person dran, sehr orientiert, versucht sie aufzuspießen. Ja, 1-3-1-2 macht wirklich bis zum Ende einen guten Job. ...24 Punkte für Schweden in diesem Jam. Starpass bei der Schweiz. Und wir haben gerade ein Official Review, the first one in here. Called by? Who called the official review? Do you see it? I think it was Switzerland, right?
I think it might have been Switzerland. I think it just goes to show how much they've enjoyed playing this game. Yes. They may want another jam.
Yes.
We have had a third announcer come and join us here, which is a fly.
Yes.
So as soon as we get some information, we will...
The Padio jam it was. 32 points off the game. It was the first and the highest scoring, right? Yes. 32 points are a lot. It was exhausted. It was exhausting. You saw it in the face of Padio in the next jam.
I mean, that's 8 times they've gone round and scored to go past that wall.
Ja, das Schweizer Team ist gerade aufgestanden und Missy Lestrange hat sich schon aufgereiht an der WFTDI Jammerline. Und Missy Lestrange hatte ja den ersten Platz gestern als Jammerin, die am meisten Punkte gemacht hat in diesem ganzen Tournament auf Tag 1 und Tag 2 und kriegt jetzt nochmal den letzten Jam in diesem, für die Schweiz, leider letzten Spiel.
Oh, and that was a great hit on the outside from the Switzerland blocker. However, the recycle gave Vanilla Slice some space to get some momentum up and pick up lead jammer status for Team Sweden. Hopping through the Switzerland blockers, great reform at the front. There was a great chase from Team Switzerland there to try and recapture Vanilla Slice. It wasn't quite enough, but it was a great effort to put across that apex and try to recapture the jammer.
Missy Lestrange hat die Helmhaube abgenommen. Wird da ein Starpass vielleicht kommen? Der Pivot wird gerade noch ziemlich dolle gehalten. Und Missy Lestrange ist durch das Pack, freut sich total.
The way that Missy Lestrange stayed in bounds was incredible.
Yes, 1 Minute noch. Ich würde Missy Lestrange wirklich gern Jam sehen, aber der Jam wird leider auch abgecallt.
We've got some big cheers here down at the S1 track here at the Roller Derby World Cup. That is the final whistle has been blown. We are just waiting for the final score to be confirmed.
Ja, die Schweiz möchte erinnert werden für one thing. The team that brought both heart and hustle to every jam, proving that we can be both cute and fierce competitors. Competitors who might surprise everyone with what we can do, even if we are not the biggest team. And they have been a surprise in this tournament.
I was about to say, I mean, we were chatting about it before, and you said it was like they were a bit of an underdog, weren't they, coming into this? And I don't think anybody was really expecting them to be at this position, playing for a place to go to the quarterfinals.
Yes. They won 2 games. They really did a great job yesterday against Argentina.
Oh, yes.
No, it was Sweden. Excuse me. No, but they did a really great job. Switzerland, sorry, I was messing things up. All right. Now we have the final score.
We have the final score. So we have got the final score sitting at 12 points for Team Switzerland to Team Sweden's 409 points. And that'll be Team Sweden heading towards quarterfinals. Who knows who they'll be skating against later on today. But don't go too far. We will have more games on this track.
Yes, we will have more games on this S1 track. And yes, we can tell you later. We just want to make sure that you really got the results of this game. Schweden hat mit 409 Punkten gegen die Schweiz gewonnen. Schweiz ist aus dem Roller Derby World Cup 2025 damit mittlerweile raus, hat trotzdem 2 Spiele gewonnen. Und Schweden geht in die Quarterfinals, hat noch ein weiteres, hat noch ein weiteres Spiel heute. Und ja, wir werden sehen, gegen wen. Es bleibt spannend.
So our next game here today on the S1 track at 1 o'clock is Scotland versus Indigenous Rising. I personally am really looking forward to watching this game.
Yes.
So please don't go too far and come back and carry on watching some more great derby for the rest of this weekend.
I was juxtaposed, planning a little bit for you.
And I have been Cherry Mike Dropia. Lovely to speak with you guys today, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.